a lot of you might be thinking, wow, this location looks really ulu. There's like totally no MRT, no amenities around.
Can you actually make money? Hey guys, welcome to another episode of TIR Insights, where I'm going to be going through the latest news, updates, and new developments in the market. Same old drill, you guys know it. And today we're going to be talking about one of the rare new developments coming up in the west side of Singapore, which has been a little bit lonely. And we're going to be talking about Faber Residence. So how we're going to be going through this video is that I'll be sharing with you the project information, lightning fire style, so you can digest all this content on your commute to work or back home. Number two, I'm going to be going through a location deep dive because this might not be a location that most of you are familiar with. Number three, we're going to be talking about the pricing analysis and whether or not Faber Residence makes sense. And number four, I'll be sharing with you reasons why I personally will buy or will not buy Faber Residence. Now guys, before we continue with this video, you see the like button over there? I think it's pretty lonely. So do me a favor, hit that like button. It's totally free and it does help me grow this channel. Thank you so much. Now let's get back to the video. So this plot of land at Faber Walk GLS was bought, same thing, by Guaco Land. If you watch my previous video about Penrith, same developer buying it over here, and Guaco Land bought it through a joint venture. Now they submitted the highest bid at $900 PSF PPR, which, if you've been keeping up with the real estate news, this is an amazing purchase price by the developer. And why is it so? Stay tuned to the video because I'll be sharing with you exactly why. So we can see for this Faber Walk plot of land, there were actually 3 different bidders for the plot of land, and Guaco Land and their joint venture only paid 8.8% higher than the next highest bidder. So this is a good sign, which tells you that Guaco Land and its JV partners did not overpay for the plot of land. So let's talk about some location deep dives because I'm very sure that this location may not be so familiar with most of you watching this video. So where is this plot of land located? It is actually located near the Faber Walk Road, where it's located inside of a landed enclave. Now, if I overlay for you, you can see that it is actually at the tail end of the Faber Heights landed housing estate, right? This housing estate largely comprises of 2-story semi-Ds, 2-story mixed landed, right, which range from your inter-terraces all the way to bungalows, and we also have a dedicated 2-story bungalow area as well. So what does this mean? Basically, you're staying next to all the crazy rich Asians in the west side of Singapore. Now, very interestingly, Faber Residence will be within 1 kilometer of Nan Hua Primary. And why is this significant is because in the west of Singapore, Nan Hua is one of the top most overly subscribed schools, and it has been holding this ranking for the longest time. So most people say in the west, if they have the opportunity to send their kid to a primary school, most of them will say, I want to send my kid to Nan Hua. Faber Residence is actually located just beside the Jurong Innovation District. Now, we've already seen National Day rally after National Day rally, where the government has been promoting the investments that they are making in this Jurong Innovation District. So if you have a longer term horizon, buying a unit at Faber Residence will allow you to realize significant gains from this particular location as the transformation reaches its fruition. And the logic here is very simple. The potential growth of a particular location depends on the amount of investment being pumped into that location. So if the government is pouring billions of dollars into the Jurong Innovation District, you can also expect to receive a relative proportional amount in your property as well. So I went to take a look at the location here at Faber Residence. And when I did a study of all the developments around here, we can see that most of them are 99 years, with the exception of the Infinity being a freehold property. Now, that is not my main focus, but I actually saw a bigger trend over here. We can see that the cluster where Faber Crest, Waterfront Faber is, and of course with the exception of the Infinity, they are largely low density developments. What do I mean by low density is that their number of units is lower or smaller compared with another cluster where there's Park Rivera, Twinview, and Whistler Grand. They have much higher density developments over here, nearly 2 times what the other cluster is. So what does this mean? Basically, if you are someone who doesn't like too much crowds, then lower density locations like where Faber Residence is might be something that you want to consider. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, wow, this location looks really ulu. There's like totally no MRT, no amenities around. Can you actually make money? So I had that same thought as well, and I went to deep dive into this location. And what I realized that despite being such a ulu location, the properties here have actually been relatively profitable. So let's have a look. We have Faber Crest, we can see that owners here have made significant gains. And I want to highlight the transaction where the owner bought in 2021 and sold in 2024. Right, in 3 years, this owner bought a 3-bedroom and made $453,000, a very decent profit. Another development just beside Faber Crest with waterfront at Faber. Over here, the owners have also made profits, but I must say that the profits here are not that spectacular to me. So that got me thinking, and I scratched my head, but I could easily find out the reason why. And the reason is the number of units. So we can see that waterfront at Faber compared to Faber Crest, waterfront at Faber has a smaller development, lesser units. And this goes back down to what I call my 11 PDF, 11 profit determining factors, where density of a development is actually one of the key factors I look at. To me, any condo that's less than 300 units is a small condo, and I definitely avoid such condominiums because the law of big numbers doesn't work in your favor. Now, if you want to find out more about these 11 different factors, density being one of them, I'll be having a masterclass where I'll go through everything with you. So I'll put the link maybe somewhere in the description below. So now let's take a look at the pricing analysis using a past, present, future framework. Faber Walk, GLS, based on the price the developer bought the land at $900 PSF PPR, working out all the costs they're going to be adding in, construction, financing, professional costs, marketing costs, I estimate that the break even by the developer is going to be around $1,800 PSF, which, based on a 15 to 20% markup, we are looking at a potential sale price of $2,064 all the way to $2,153. Realistically, I do estimate the launch prices probably will be around 2001 to 2002 PSF, which if I work out some estimated starting prices based on the different unit types, you can easily see them over here. And I will reference maybe the 3-bedroom being the average unit type here, probably going to be about 900 square feet. Quantum-wise, probably we're looking at about 1.935 mil or a PSF of $2,150 PSF. So first, let's look at some past prices in this location. We have Faber Crest, 3-bedroom here, 1,259 square feet, transacted for $1,246 PSF or a price tag of $1.568 million. We have the Infinity, 1,302 square feet, transacted for a price of $1,658 PSF or a price tag of $2.158 million. With waterfront at Faber, 166 square feet, transacted at $1,565 PSF or a price tag of $1.688 million. With Park Rivera, 3-bedroom, 926 square feet, transacted for $1,566 PSF or a price tag of $1.45 million. With Twinview, 1,066 square feet, transacted at $1,976 PSF or a price tag of $2.1 million. With Whistler Grand, 3-bedroom, 1,066 square feet as well, transacted for $1,971 PSF or a price tag of $2.101 million. We can see that average prices here from the older to the slightly newer properties are an average of $1,664 PSF or a price tag of $1.842 million. Now let's take a look at some present prices in this particular location. Because where Faber Residence is largely the Clementi location, it is very close to where Jurong is as well. I took out Lake Garden Residences as one of the comparisons. 3 bedrooms at 1,098 square feet, transacted for $2,259 PSF or a price tag of $2.48 million. We have Sora, also located nearby to Lake Garden Residences. 3-bedroom over here, 936 square feet, transacted at $2,270 TSF or a price tag of $2.124 million. With Elta, a condo that's brand new launching in the Clementi location, which is similar to Faber Residence. 3-bedroom here, 1,023 square feet, transacted for $2,821 PSF or $2.885 million. And with Bloomsbury Residences, also a similar locale in my view. 3-bedroom, 980 square feet, transacted for $2,415 PSF or a price tag of $2.366 million. That brings the average of present new launches in the market that you can buy today in this similar location an average of $2,441 PSF or a price tag of $2.464 million. So already based on current prices, we can see that Faber Residence is super attractive if the developer is going to be launching $2,100 to $2,200 PSF. Now, just because the developer bought the land cheap doesn't mean they'll be selling cheap. So bear that in mind. Let's also look forward to take a look at some future land prices and what we can potentially anticipate in the next 12 to 24 months. We have Chuan Grove GLS. Based on the land price the developer bought the land, this is a prime OCR area. We're going to be seeing prices launching at around $2,866 PSF. I've repeated this countless times. I think you guys should probably know it. Next one, Bayshore, also in the prime OCR area to me. This development is probably going to be launching around $2,887 PSF. And what is so interesting is that most recently, CDL actually made a record-breaking bid for an EC land in Woodlands for $782 PSF, which is very, very close to what the developer, Guaco Land, and its joint partners bought for Faber Residence itself. So what does this mean to you is that potentially the future EC in Woodlands, okay, I repeat, in Woodlands, we are probably going to be looking at prices there at around 1,800 PSF on the low end. Compared to today, if you can buy Faber Residence, which is a full entitled condominium unit, I think you are getting a steal looking at what's coming up ahead. So same thing here. If we are looking at future prices, we can see that the average is probably going to be about $2,608 PSF or a price tag of $2.519 million, which means that today, Faber Residence prices are super, super cheap. So to me, this may be an opportunity that you might want to take advantage of. Of course, let's also look at reasons why I will buy or will not buy Faber Residence. So first, reasons why I will buy Faber Residence. If I'm someone who likes a low density environment, I don't like a lot of crowds, I want somewhere a little bit more peaceful, a little bit more tranquil, then Faber Residence actually fits the bill. If I also have a child that I want to send to Nan Hua Primary School, then this location will fit that criteria for me. Also, if I'm someone who's probably looking at more towards own stay, I want somewhere there's lesser crowds, I want to see my child grow up staying in this particular location, because even after primary school, right, going to secondary school, and even after the university, we can see that most of the universities in Singapore are actually very near where Faber Residence is. That being said, that means I need to have a longer horizon as well, because then I'll be able to tap into the Jurong Innovation District transformation. And of course, I will buy Faber Residence because it gives me a lot of security because of the safe entry price so close to an EC that's going to be launching in the Woodlands area. Now on to reasons why I will not buy Faber Residence. So if I'm someone who is a MRT junkie and I will not buy any condominium if it's not beside the MRT, then Faber Residence, if I were to walk to the MRT from this particular property, I am going to get leg cramps. Secondly, there's no amenities in this particular location within a walking distance, unlike other developments that may be far from MRT but located in a HDB estate. And the third reason is that I will not buy Faber Residence if I'm someone looking to flip in 4 years. Why? Because the full potential of Faber Residence will not be actualized in just a 4-year time frame. So these are the reasons why I will buy or will not buy Faber Residence. Now, I sincerely hope you appreciated and liked this video. And if you are still scratching your head, wondering whether or not Faber Residence will fit your property portfolio based on your current profile, all you need to do is contact me in my number over here, and I'll get in touch with you and let's do a one-to-one property portfolio review. Of course, if you found this video useful, you found it insightful, you found it beneficial for your property decision, do me a favor. It doesn't cost you much, but it does benefit me a lot. Do me a favor, like and share this video so I can continue staying motivated to create such content just for you. This is Ian Teo, the top 1% Realtor, signing out.